Hello and welcome to the Kopala TV main news. And now for the headlines. President Edgar Lungu urged to declare curfew on the copper belts. Christian Coalition Zambia maintains that proposed Bill number 10 be withdrawn from Parliament. Opposition political parties accuse the Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ. Brexit withdrawal deal set. Join us after this. To present the news in detail, my name is Wabwila Musongole. President Edgar Lungu has been urged to declare a curfew in some Copperbelt towns. All People's Congress APC leader Nason Musoni says as Commander-in-Chief of the Armed Forces, the President should show leadership and ensure that perpetrators linked to the heinous crimes are brought to book. Mr. Musoni says the most decent thing that the head of state should do is restore normalcy on the Copper Belt. Blessings Malama now reports.
With the security situation on the Copper Belt increasingly becoming uncertain, pressure is mounting on President Edgar Lungu and his government to restore normalcy in the region. People in the region are living in fear owing to allegations of suspected ritual killings that have rocked Chingola and Kitwe towns. Whilst residents in the two towns have maintained that their lives are in danger, police, on the other hand, have rubbished their claims. On Wednesday, the acting Police Inspector General Eugene Sibote said there are no ritual killings on the Copper Belt, a view that has been received with wide condemnation. The adamancy by police to restore order and later on bring suspected ritual killers to book has seen the Copper Belt witness riots in two mining towns. Opposition political parties such as the UPND and the All People's Congress APC want President Lungu to physically visit both Chingola and Kitwe. They want the president to reassure residents that indeed his administration is determined to ensure that peace in the mining town is not compromised.
We are perturbed and disappointed to see that ministers are publicly crashing, fighting, instead of finding a lasting political situation to the spate of ritual killings happening in Chingola. We think that staging political side shows to denounce each other serves no one's interest. Okay? To this end, we call on the president to use the public security preservation instrument to prescribe a curfew on the Copper Belt or in Chingola, where they have experienced a spate of ritual killings, suspected ritual killings. We think that the people of Chingola, the people of the Copper Belt, are entitled to enjoy peace, relative peace in the country. And it is the role of the president, who has been given these powers, wide-ranging powers, to ensure that when public security is under threat, he can revoke these necessary instruments to ensure that he secures peace by prescribing and proscribing a curfew. A curfew is an important aspect of fighting these killings on the Copper Belt. And we think that the government owes the people of Chingola public security guarantee.
UPND Secretary General Stephen Katuka says the head of state owes the nation an explanation on the recent happenings on the Copper Belt.
Killings in Chingola, we as the UPND find it strange that the Republican president and his government have opted to remain mute instead of offering leadership. This is the time residents in Chingola need him and his government the most, unlike living as though everything is okay in the country. The people of Chingola would want to see President Lungu visiting the district and reassure them of his commitment to ridding the town of these wrong elements. The killers in Chingola are now moving from one house to the other, while our government is still busy commissioning and launching projects without completion dates when our people are living in fear. The UPND stands with the people of Chingola and calls on law enforcement agencies to combine forces with local neighborhood watch committees in securing both human and property in Chingola. We commend the residents for their vigilance so far and urge them to cooperate with the law enforcement agencies in addressing the situation before it escalates out of hand. We need security and we demand from those mandated to provide to do so.
The opposition has observed that the allegations of ritual killings in Chingola and Kitwe are not a hoax, adding that police and other law enforcement agencies should get to the bottom of the allegations. Blessings Malama, Kopala TV News, in Kitwe.
Copperbelt residents have expressed outrage with people falsifying murder videos. Diana Kafwala has the rest of the details in the following report.
It is a topic that everyone in almost all street corners of the Copperbelt is discussing. Reports of alleged ritual killings taking place in Chingola and Kitwe districts has sent shivers amongst many. In the last few days, graphical videos of forced ritual killings have been circulating on the Copperbelt. Copperbelt residents Kopala TV has spoken to want the police to arrest those behind the circulation of such videos.
What I can say is there are some videos which are not from Zambia. So those videos which are not from Zambia should be like penalized, like they should have them. Like the Zikta should come in. That's for Zikta, that's not for us. So like then the other videos which are Zambian, like those videos, I can't say they're bad because like they're helping us. Yes.
The police bafuire baposa kufya mano so that to avoid fire fin to bafuire bale bakani akobati mwila chitefi because fire chinya abantu sana.
Allegations of ritual killings has also affected the business community.
Twali niko 20 hours, tuli ngomba 19 hours. Nshabantu baliko kwenda na kuputuka. Na ilo chedinga bako na kufita abantu bale tina no kwenda. Kai 18 hours amala itia. Kwa afita abantu bale tina. Bala njipaya. So business if tako dinempia tuli kwa.
I can say if you baba de post into. Bale fa finga ba kwata ko ile advantage ba be pesho muntu ba starayoti ba zampa ko something. I was serious. Today ba fi chinka. Today kwata fi chinka.
Police on Wednesday disclosed that the circulation of videos alleging ritual killings has resulted in riots and instant mob justice being meted out on innocent people. Diana Kafwala, Kopala TV News, in Kitwe.
Kitwe District Commissioner Binwe Mpundu has appealed to members of the public to remain calm as police investigate false alarms on suspected ritual killings in the city. Mr. Mpundu has warned that propagating false information is a criminal offense. He has refuted allegations that 2 school pupils in Kitwe have been abducted by suspected ritual killers.
Colleagues, our residents in our beautiful city of Kitwe, I just want to take this opportunity to send out a message to you, which message is basically to appeal for calm. There's been a lot of rumors that are flying on social media and on many forums, where people are purporting to have, incidences of crime and false reports mainly that are flying around the city of Kitwe regarding the crime situation in Kitwe. I wish to mention here that most of the information that you are seeing on social media is simply false alarm. And as it were, the public must be informed that whenever you propagate or send out alarming information, it is criminal and you may be prosecuted. However, I wish to take this opportunity to just appeal to the members of the public that, of course, we have recorded a number of incidences where people are being attacked in their homes and otherwise harassed by suspected criminal elements. However, law enforcement agencies, the police and all the units are fully, actively pursuing these criminal elements or suspected criminal elements. So for now, all that we can do is to remain, calm, because we are, taking this situation under control. So all those reports you've heard of children in schools being abducted, are all but false alarms. This morning we had run battles again on reported, suspected ritual killer, which turned out to be extremely false. So I want to take this opportunity basically to assure the residents of Kitwe that we are doing everything we can, using the law enforcement agencies to ensure that we protect our communities. But however, we will continue to engage the various stakeholders in our quest to ensure that peace returns in our city. So we're starting with a number of community meetings in different communities, and I'll keep updating the members of the public as to which areas we are going to go to. The key is that all of us are part of the solution to the challenges that we are confronted with today. But there's no need for us to be alarmed, because we have capable men who are able to rise to the occasion to manage the situation. But you, as members of the public, must also get involved by providing information either on suspicion or the actual information relating to crime to law enforcement agencies. So I thought I must just send this message as a way of appealing, to the members of the public to be calm, because we are managing the situation.
Political parties have described as absurd the move taken by the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ, not to sponsor any stakeholders or political parties to verify the 2021 ballot papers to be printed in Dubai. Victoria Mukopo has the rest of the details.
Electoral Commission of Zambia ECZ Chief Electoral Officer Patrick Shindano has made a comment that has angered political parties and electoral stakeholders alike. On Monday, during a television program, Mr. Shindano said the Commission will not sponsor any stakeholders or political parties to verify 2021 ballot papers to be printed in Dubai. Mr. Shindano has justified his remarks, emphasizing that the cost of including political parties' representatives and those from civil society groupings is unwarranted. This statement by the ECZ Chief Electoral Officer has not been well received by political parties. The UPND on the Copper Belt says the pronouncement by the ECZ is suspicious.
I want to actually condemn ECZ for their maneuvers to manipulate the elections, and in this case we're talking about ECZ wanting to go to print ballot papers in Dubai and leaving observers and other stakeholders not behind. The reason why they are citing financial challenges, they want the observers and other political parties to actually fund themselves to actually send their representatives into Dubai to go and invest that. So we wonder, because this hasn't been the case in the history of Zambian election.
NDC leader Chimba Kambwili says the ECZ has made an irrational decision that should be rescinded.
By printing those ballots within the country, where an observer from NDC can move from his house and come and observe. Because there's no way you can print ballots without stakeholders observing. What are you telling us? All the elections that have been held where printing has been done outside the country, there have been observers paid for by the Electoral Commission of Zambia. How come today you are saying you are not going to sponsor the observers? Vane, what you hold this country. If there will be no observers, that printing will not be done in Dubai. If you are going to do that printing, there will be no elections.
The ECZ says political parties intending to witness to verify the printing of ballot papers in Dubai should meet their own course. Victoria Mukupo, Kopala TV News in Kitwe.
PF Deputy Secretary General Mumbi Piri has described PF Kanjala Ward Councillor William Piri, who was clobbered on Wednesday by his colleagues from the party, as a very indisciplined party member. Victoria Mukopo reports once again.
With only a few months to go before the PF National Convention set for July this year, wrangles in the governing party have continued. Those wrestling for political power have teamed up and formed cartels in readiness to jostle for openings at the party convention set for Cabo District in the Central Province. In the last few days, division among leaders from the party in the Eastern Province have gone personal. Leaders are now fighting themselves in the media, making all sorts of accusations against each other. Kanjala Ward Councillor William Piri, a senior member of the Eastern Province PF Provincial Executive, is leading the onslaught on senior members. Mr. Piri wants Andrew Lubusha, led Provincial Executive, to be dissolved immediately. The outspoken councillor has demanded that former Home Affairs Minister Lamek Mangani to be appointed as Eastern Province PF chairperson. This has, however, made Mr. Phiri unpopular. On Wednesday, Mr. Phiri was assaulted by his compatriots suspected to be from the PF.
This is what Andrew Bosha can do, together with the provincial youth chairman, JJ, sending a mob of youths in Petauke to beat me up, simply by saying the truth, that we need everybody on board to support President Edgar Chagwangu. But today I'm being beaten. The President, if you are listening to this and you are seeing this, this is the caliber of your leaders that's there in Eastern Province. Andrew Lubusha is a bad man, together with JJ, the youth chairman. How can they do this to their own? To their own. I can't believe this. It's a matter of time. It's a matter of time.
And PF Deputy Secretary General Mumbi Phiri says Councillor Phiri is indisciplined. Ms. Phiri says Councillor Phiri is being used by greedy political elements who wants to usurp powers using all means.
And if you have been following what that councillor of ours has been behaving, even on the province, is a very senior member at a provincial level. He even knows how to communicate and who should speak on what. I don't know on what basis he's speaking on behalf of Mr. Mangani, how he's speaking on behalf of Mr. Panji Kaunda. I don't know on what basis. If he has become their spokesperson, because he knows the channel of communication as a party. I mean, that's what I've said, is at provincial level. He knows the means of communication. Unless if he's telling me that he has become spokesperson for Bamangani, Nara, Panji Kaunda, that's what I'm saying.
As the PF July draws closer, the party will see more sparks in its ranks and files as the research for new PF top leaders starts. Victoria Mukpo, Kopala TV News in Kitwe.
In case you have just tuned in, you are watching the Kopala TV main news. Join us after the break. Samaria Limited is a versatile company dedicated to meeting every need any of our customers may have. With us, you're guaranteed to have a pleasant and easy shopping experience with the best returns for your money's worth. We guarantee the best customer service in addition to the finest quality beverages at affordable prices. We have all your hardware requirements, from roofing sheets, wiring, piping, and much more. At Samaria Limited, we believe in good workmanship. Working well with one another is what gets our job done. Stationery is an essential. Whether it's a pencil for your personal drawings and designs, or a roll of paper for the company printer, we've got you covered. We stock various brands simply for your preference. We have an Airtel booth within our premises with airtime ready and available for all customers. We also offer Airtel Money services for easy money transactions and efficient clerks to attend to you, ensuring a fast and smooth procedure. If you're in need of any electronics, our store should be your go-to, with appliances ranging from household specifics to industrial commodities such as generators and inverters. If you need it, we have it. Our wholesale store stocks the best quality in food and other products, including cleaning necessities. And above all, our affordable prices ensure that you know how much we value you. You can find Samaria Limited along President Avenue North, opposite Zambia Railways in Dola, or call us on 0212 613 336 or 0212 619 992. Samaria Limited, your one-stop center for all you need.
Looking for an opportunity to grow your business? Well, Kopala TV has good news for all small-scale businesses. You can now advertise on Kopala TV's Makwebo. Bonseba na mayo na bashtata. Iseni mulangishe amakwebo yenu pamutengo uachepa nga 100 kwacha. Yes, you heard right. For as low as 100 kwacha, your business will get its peak. Whatever the business, we will advertise. All you need to do is send a text of what your business offers, indicating the name, location, and contact details to the number below. Payment for the advertising spot can be made through MTN mobile money on the number down below. Makwebo, make your business known.
Welcome back. Tourism Minister Ronald Chitotela is in Rwanda attending the Creative Arts Exchange Program. Details are in the following report.
Tourism and Arts Minister Ronald Chitotela has urged the African creative sector to formalize themselves and reap the benefits from their work as businesses. Speaking during the panel discussion at the Creative Arts Exchange CAX program in Kigali, Rwanda, the minister said this is the only way the artists can operate as commercial and business entities.
Heads of state sign an African continental free trade area. So for those in the art industry, I would want to encourage you to formalize yourself so that you can trade as a commercial and a business entity. For those that in creative industry like fashion design, African states, governments across Africa are creating enabling environment for African enterprises to grow. And Africa is looking forward to trade among African.
And Rwanda Minister of Youth and Culture, Rosemary Mbambazi, said CAX is an important initiative that brings together creative and the financial sector, which is the new thing to Africa. She said the creative industry would enhance existing collaborations between countries by unlocking not only the unemployment among the youth, but also the intellectual property rights challenges as well as the quality of the products.
The creative industry will enhance existing collaboration between countries by unlocking not only unemployment challenges of our young people, but also the intellectual property rights challenges, as well as the quality of our products. I think this was highly elaborated by the previous speakers. It's very exciting to be sitting amidst the financial sector. I really want to emphasize that. We don't want to take this for granted. It has not been happening. It was not like this. So this shows it is the next step that we are heading to. It is going to reap more because you have seen the whole ecosystem coming together. Having the financial sector being on board and seeing this as an economic sector, this is wonderful. Can we give them a round of applause for that? We strongly believe that the presence of the private sector, the civil side, but also the banking sector, and most of the sponsors from energy and oil and gas. I think we can see more companies coming in coffee and tea and tourism, also supporting and sponsoring this sector because it is very, very helpful and creates more linkages and synergies in what we are doing. With all combined effort, we believe that we'll strongly awaken the already awakening giant that we have seen coming up.
And Afreximbank President, Professor Benedict Orama, says CAX has come to awaken the arts and creative industry in Africa.
The article observed that the African creative industry had the potential to become a significant contributor to Africa's economies, to Africa's development, if nurtured and supported. I'm sure that you all will agree with me after the very brief performances we've seen today, that Africa's creative industry has woken from its slumber. Just like the legendary Egyptian bird phoenix, it has sprung from its ashes. Gathered here amongst us in this hall are the best of the best in the world, the best in Africa and the best in the world. And across Africa this weekend, thousands of Africans will dance away at concerts, nightclubs, lounges, and even in the villages the village squares, and also even in churches, to music produced by an amazing number of African talent. Tomorrow in Nairobi, Kenya, thousands from across the continent will gather to witness the latest and best in African poetry at the Poetry Slam Africa event.
Love Kayombo reporting.
NDC National Chairperson for Labour says the closure of Chambishi Metals on the Copper Belt is a sign of negligence on the part of unions in the extractive sector. Joseph Chishala, who is also a raw lawmaker, says the closure should have been avoided. Mr. Chishala has urged government to revisit the decision to place the firm that is one of the major producers of cobalt under care and maintenance. On Monday, the Mine Workers Union of Zambia, MUZ, announced that Chambishi Metals is broke and was winding up its operations. The development will see at least 200 workers being declared redundant.
This opportunity to comment on the layoff of 229 employees of Chambishi Metals. Those 229 employees who are going to be laid off. I think, in my view, if the government was so serious and the union at large, this issue could have been sorted out in a way that they couldn't have resorted into laying off or going on care and maintenance. If I remember very well, the clip that I saw on TV when the president of MUZ was addressing the media, he categorically stated that that operation has been on, off, which implies that the investors have not been serious from the time they've been operating on that mine. So if at all it has been on, off, and it was to the attention of the union and the government, why didn't they sort out this matter before reaching to this extent of laying off workers? I think it's high time that the government would command the so-called investor to continue operation until at a time that the government finds new investors or new people to push in money. Because I'm looking at the number of 229 employees being laid off. Do you know what that means? In my simple calculation, 229 families, that is a family simply having maybe six people home. We're talking of 1,370 somewhere there. Meaning those 1,370 will be subjected to poverty. Because even if they've negotiated a package to walk away with after being laid off, to me that package won't be sustainable enough, because looking at this economy that we are in right now, and I'm looking at January being a month when you pay school fees and rentals mostly, you find that whatever package they've negotiated for the people to be laid off would be just subjected to pay school fees and rentals. Eventually, in the next few months, we are talking of maybe probably by March, these guys would be bankrupt.
In case you have just tuned in, you're watching the Kopala TV main news. Join us after this. Samaria Limited is a versatile company dedicated to meeting every need any of our customers may have. With us, you're guaranteed to have a pleasant and easy shopping experience with the best returns for your money's worth. We guarantee the best customer service in addition to the finest quality beverages at affordable prices. We have all your hardware requirements, from roofing sheets, wiring, piping, and much more. At Samaria Limited, we believe in good workmanship. Working well with one another is what gets our job done. Stationery is an essential. Whether it's a pencil for your personal drawings and designs, or a roll of paper for the company printer, we've got you covered. We stock various brands simply for your preference. We have an Airtel booth within our premises with airtime ready and available for all customers. We also offer Airtel Money services for easy money transactions and efficient clerks to attend to you, ensuring a fast and smooth procedure. If you're in need of any electronics, our store should be your go-to, with appliances ranging from household specifics to industrial commodities such as generators and inverters. If you need it, we have it. Our wholesale store stocks the best quality in food and other products, including cleaning necessities. And above all, our affordable prices ensure that you know how much we value you. You can find Samario Limited along President Avenue North, opposite Zambia Railways in Dola, or call us on 0212-613-336 or 0212-619-992. Samaria Limited, your one-stop center for all you need.
Looking for an opportunity to grow your business? Well, Kopala TV has good news for all small-scale businesses. You can now advertise on Kopala TV's Makwebo. Bonseba na mayo na bashtata. Iseni mulangishe amakwebo yenu pamutengo uachepa nga 100 kwacha. Yes, you heard right. For as low as 100 kwacha, your business will get its peak. Whatever the business, we will advertise. All you need to do is send a text of what your business offers, indicating the name, location, and contact details to the number below. Payment for the advertising spot can be made through MTN mobile money on the number down below. Makwebo, make your business known.
Welcome back, and now in international news. The Brexit withdrawal deal has been set and awaits royal approval to become law. The United Kingdom is set to leave the European Union, EU, on the 31st of January 2020 and will then go through an 11-month transition period, during which the UK will still abide by EU rules but no longer be represented in their institutions. We monitored the Evening Standard for this report.
My Lords, I think all noble lords who've contributed to the discussion, I mean, we've debated all of these matters at great length, and our positions are well known, so I'm not going to try the patience of the House by repeating those arguments.
The question is that motion A be agreed to. As many of that opinion will say content? Content. The contrary not content? The contents have it. Motion B, Lord Callaghan.
My Lords, motions B to E have already been spoken to. I beg to move them formally en bloc.
The question is that motions B to E be agreed to en bloc. As many of that opinion will say content? Content. The contrary not content? The contents have it.
The Chinese city of Wuhan is shutting its public transport sector down in an effort to contain the fast-spreading coronavirus. The city's populace of 11 million people has been advised not to leave as an additional preventive measure. We monitored the BBC for this report.
This is the epicenter of the outbreak. Hospitals in Wuhan are overwhelmed. More than a dozen health workers have been infected, so medical staff have started wearing full protective suits. Now, in a dramatic attempt to slow the virus spreading, the city's entire public transport system is being shut down. Within hours, all flights will be grounded, all trains and bus stations closed. Residents are being urged to stay put. Wuhan has a population of 11 million people, more than live in Greater London. Wuhan International Airport handles over 24 million passengers a year, with direct flights to London, Paris, Dubai, and other cities around the world. The last flight out of Wuhan for the UK landed at Heathrow this evening. Passengers were met by health officials after they left the plane.
So there was no screening at Wuhan and there was no screening as I've landed. We were given a leaflet in English saying if you've experienced symptoms, call NHS Direct. That was from Public Health England. It was quite sparse, the leaflet, but I've not had the temperature checked. I wasn't questioned at passport control.
But further spread of the virus is inevitable. Thousands of Wuhan residents have already left the city for the Lunar New Year holiday, and 400 million people across China will travel this week. One positive, the virus appears less aggressive than the 2002 SARS outbreak, which killed nearly 800 people.
This virus, it appears that a significant proportion of cases actually have milder disease. They do have symptoms, they have fever, they feel poorly, but the symptoms are quite non-specific, like flu, for instance. So that may pose a challenge in terms of rapidly identifying cases, though it's good news from the point of view of this may not be quite as lethal as SARS was.
But there are still so many unknowns. The World Health Organization has delayed a decision until tomorrow about whether to declare a global health emergency.
The decision about whether or not to declare a public health emergency of international concern is one I take extremely seriously, and one I'm only prepared to make with appropriate consideration of all the evidence.
China has been widely praised for its swift and open response to the new virus. The world's most populous country is taking no chances. Fergus Walsh, BBC News.
To end the Kopala TV main news, we take a look at the headlines once again. President Edgar Lungu urged to declare curfew on the Copperbelt. Christian Coalition Zambia maintains that proposed Bill number 10 be withdrawn from Parliament. Opposition political parties accuse the Electoral Commission of Zambia, ECZ. Brexit withdrawal deal set. Thank you for watching the Kopala TV main news. My name is Wabwila Musongole, and God bless.